Welcome back to Fiddle Up. My name is Emerald Ray, and today we're going to be doing O'Keeffe's Slide. This is a beautiful Irish tune that you can play in any session, anywhere. And a slide is kind of a funny thing. It's sort of like a jig, but not really. There's different types of jigs in Irish music. There's regular jigs, there's slip jigs, there's hop jigs, which are less common. And then there's slides, which is kind of a 12/8 sort of thing if you know about the music theory and the rhythms. So it's kind of like a little bit, it's just a little bit different, and it goes a lot faster. But they're generally simpler tunes. So it sounds really nice and easy, and it is. So it's going to be a lot of long down bows and short up bows. So it's very easy to get started. Let's start on your open A string. So very easy. We're going to go open A and then 2 on the open E. Down, up, down. Very good. So now we're going to add the next part, which is your third finger on the A string. That's a D. And then we're going to go down to your first finger on the A string. That's a B. And then open A. And then back up again, B and D. So that's very nice and easy, all on the A string. So let's start from the top of that first phrase again. So that's A, E, E, D, B, A, B, D. So we should add in that last little B. Sorry about that. The phrases are kind of funny. They often kind of are a little bit separated from what are called the pickups. So that little note there is technically a pickup into the next phrase. And I, having learned a lot of this music by ear, tend to think about it that way. So just so you know, that if you look at the sheet music, if you're a sheet music person and you're looking at the sheet music, where the bar lines aren't really where the phrase starts. So just bear with me there. So the next phrase is... So the first phrase is... So adding that little B at the end there. And then the next phrase starts out exactly the same. A, E, E. And then... So the first thing you're going to do is go down to your third finger on the A string. That's a D here. And then we're going to do a B on your A string. That's first finger. Just going to the open A there. So B, A, B. And then we're going to go down to the G on your D string. That's a third finger. So get all the way down to the D string. So that's a G, A, B. So that's third finger on the D string, open A, and then B. Okay, so that whole little piece there is... So the second phrase all together sounds like this. Da, 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 da. Excellent. So let's try those two pieces together. Da, 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 da. Excellent. So that's A, E, E, D, B, A, B, D, B, A, E, E, D, B, A, B, G, A, B. Okay, great. So the next phrase is really easy because you already know it. It's the same as the first phrase except minus one note, which is nice. You have less to do. So we're going to hold a long up bow on that D right there. And then the last phrase is just kind of purposefully ending on a big up bow there, which is nice so we can come down onto a down bow on the next phrase. So the last phrase is B, A, B, just like we did in the second phrase. Going up to the D, third finger on your A string. Open E, sorry. And then B, A, A. So that's first finger on the A, A. Okay, so. So B, A, B, D, E, B, A. Da, 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 da. Okay, so now let's do phrases 3 and 4 together, which sound like this. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. A, E, E, D, B. Sorry, let's try that again. Teacher error. It happens to the best of us. A, E, E, D, B, A, B, D. B, A, B, D, E, B, A. It's a little hard when they all sound the same, isn't it? We all struggle with that. Don't worry. If you're struggling with that, it's a struggle for everyone. Okay, let's try those two phrases together again. Okay, phew. Let's try the whole thing together. Whole A part, starting from. Da 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 da. Beautiful. So let's move on to the B part. I'm going to have a quick sip of tea here. My throat needs a little honey and lemon. This beautiful mug was a recent gift from one of my fiddle students, by the way. It's from Maine. Thank you very much. So, let's try the B part. So we're going to go. We're going to go up to our E string, open E string, and up to third finger. So that's your A at the top. So very exciting. We're going to add a fourth finger here. And so open E, third finger, and now make sure that your palm is nice and close to the neck here, because you're going to put your fourth finger down, and you need to put your fourth finger down a whole almost an inch above where your third finger is. So it's quite a stretch. And so if your pinky is kind of floating around out here struggling to reach, you need to bring your whole hand and your forearm closer into the neck so you can reach. Your pinky is only so long. It's tiny. So if you're having any collapsing issues, there will be a little bit of muscle that you need to build up to be able to put your third finger down comfortably. But most of it is going to be getting your hand in the right position to put your fourth finger down where it needs to go. So bear that in mind. So we're going to go open, third finger, fourth finger, third finger, and then we're going to go down to a low 2 here. So this is kind of stretchy. If this is really hard at first, don't worry, it's hard for everybody. So open E, A, A, and then go up to your fourth finger, which is a B. Let's just try that again. So open E, third finger, fourth finger. Try that one more time. Open E, A, B, A. So now we're going to go down to your low two here, second finger, which is going to be tucked right next to your first finger. And then we're going to go down to the A string, third finger on the A string. Woo! Okay, let's try that again. This is a little tricky, but you can get it. So open E, 3, 3, 4, 3, second finger, open E string, and then down to third finger on the A string, that's a D. Woo! Let's try it one more time. And again. And one more time. Fabulous. Okay, so the next part is exactly the same thing except one note different at the end. So instead of going down to the third finger on the A string, your D, we're going to go up again to your first finger on the E string. That's an F sharp. Try that again. So together, these two phrases sound like this. Da, 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 da. E, A, B, A, G, E, D, E, A, B, A, G, E, F sharp. Awesome. And now we come to my favorite part of the tune. I really love this little section. This is just like a beautiful waterfall cascading down. So you're going to start on your G, second finger, low 2 on your E string. Isn't that pretty? And after all that A minor at the beginning, isn't that pretty? I love that. So G, so that's 2, 2, 1, open. Then, so that's G and F sharp and open E. And then you're going to go down to your A string and play D, B, A, like we've been doing a ton of. So that's third finger, first finger, open. And then all the way down to the G string, third finger on the G string. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. So that's G, G, F sharp, E, D, B, A, G. And you will be very excited to learn that the last phrase is exactly the same as the last phrase of the A part. So we are done. No more learning to do. We just got to put it all together. So these two phrases sound like this together. So there's just one little extra bit in there. There's a little sneaky A pickup note in there that's kind of stuck in there. And we're going to slur through it just for fun because this is a very sort of Irish bowing thing to do. So we're going to start from the top G. Down to the middle G there. And then now we're going to do a slur. So that's putting those two notes on the same bow. Down, down. So that's open A to first finger on the A string, or B. So the bowing is down, down, up, down. And then just like the phrase in the first part, we're going to do some up bows and end on an up bow. Okay, so let's put the whole B part together now. I love it when we get everything together. So we're going to start. Okay. Okay, so let's start from the top of the tune and do it all together. 1, 2, And here we go. And there we have it. We're done. That's O'Keeffe's slide. So if you want to take this up to the next level, and you can add some ornamentation. That's going to be most of what you're doing, and also speeding up a little bit because these tunes do go kind of fast. So. I was adding a trill on the first finger, which would be a great place to start if you're just getting into starting to use ornamentation. I would highly recommend just giving your first finger a little snap at the top there. Instead of playing two separate bows, you can actually put your bow down and then slur through that. So that's like a little low 2 number there. I kind of call that a neighbor note or a passing note. It just adds a little something in there. And that's a full-on little doodad, whatever that is. So that would be a trill on your fourth finger there. And I'm just kind of pulling down all the way through. You know, these ornaments are just kind of peppered in there. And once you build up a vocabulary of these things, then you can kind of throw them in wherever you feel like doing it. And you will sort of settle into what's normal for you. But starting slow and building up your ornamentation repertoire just takes a little bit of time, but it's really fun. So I was adding some double stops in there, which is I do it. You know, I'm a Scottish player primarily, so I tend to do a lot of double stopping, and you know, getting into all the fiddle accompaniment and things like that, I've done it. I kind of go crazy on it. I do a lot of double stops, so you don't have to do a ton, but just adding in a few here and there really beefs up the sound. A little resonance in there. It's really nice. And then on the B part, kind of similar things. I was adding a trill up on the top. Those are all kind of the same thing in different order, and I can do that a little bit slower. So I'm kind of doing 2 there. So that's a 3rd finger trill there. Doing that same pulling through. That's a 2nd finger trill there. There's something really nice about a 2nd finger trill too. You can tell the difference between the different trills. If I did it on my 3rd finger, it would sound like this instead of a 2nd finger. Can you hear the difference between those 2 things? So making these little choices, you actually have a lot of options of what you can do and all these different sounds you can play with. And that's just dum ba da dee dum. Little 2nd finger trill and down, slurring down all the way to the A. So I think, I also added in a little quadruple stop there, which I will explain. In case you caught that and went, what the heck is that? So that's kind of more of a Scottish thing for sure, so we were talking about double stops. A triple stop is when you play 3 strings. And then a quadruple stop is when you play all 4 strings. I was doing a G chord there, so I should do that. So, and now I'm going to go down to the G string, grab my G string, and I'm going to put my 1st finger on the A string here and my 2nd finger on the E string. So I have G, D, B, and then G at the top. You see how that works? So those are some options that you can start playing around with, and if you're just getting started, just add a couple here and there. You don't have to go totally nuts, but if you're ready to go totally nuts, go nuts. All right, well, have a good day, you guys. I hope you enjoyed that tune. I will see you in the next video. Have a good one.